What's up guys, Chris Barakat here in the Human Performance Lab at the University of Tampa, and today I want to talk to you about 3 exercises that can help you maximize your chest development. To give you a clear visual and provide a deeper understanding of the importance of what I'm discussing today, I'm going to utilize our electromyography technology and cover some functional anatomy. Before diving into specific exercises, let's take a look at chest anatomy, its versatile function, as well as differences from person to person based on our skeletal frame and genetic structure. Our chest is composed of 2 different muscles, the deep pectoralis minor muscle and the superficial fan-shaped pectoralis major muscle. For the purpose of this video, we're going to focus on the PEC Major due to its role in developing an aesthetic chest, as it's the only portion visible to the naked eye. As you can see, the PEC Major is composed of 3 different heads: the clavicular head, commonly referred to as the upper chest, the sternal head, and today's primary focus, the costal head, which essentially makes up your lower pec. These names simply describe where on the body the muscle fibers originate from. All of these muscle fibers insert to the same location on your upper arm of your humerus bone. A lot of people focus on building up their bench press or are constantly seeking how to improve upper chest development, but often neglect and overlook targeting their lower chest fibers. Interestingly, for many people, the costal head actually makes up the largest portion of their entire chest muscle, so building this region will make the most drastic visual difference. Because the PEC Major has multiple origin points, the muscle fiber runs in various directions, and these different lines of pull are the reasons why the chest has multiple functions. Let's quickly cover the function of the chest. The PEC fibers that originate at the sternum are responsible for pulling your upper arm straight across your body towards the midline. This is called horizontal shoulder adduction. The muscle fibers of your upper chest that originate on your collarbone run on a different angle, have a different line of pull, and therefore primarily responsible for shoulder flexion. Now these fibers we're focusing on today are the lower fibers of the costal head of the PEC Major. These fibers have a different line of pull and are primarily responsible for shoulder adduction, bringing your arm straight down to your side. Now, although everyone's chest is responsible for those 3 functions, everyone's physique is truly one of a kind. And our skeletal structure, shoulder width, sternal angle, and rib cage massively influence how our chest looks. These individual differences are part of the reason why you might feel a better internal stimulus from one exercise compared to another. This may also influence which part of the chest you need to focus on the most to have the greatest return on your overall chest development. Nonetheless, regardless of your specific shape and structure, some specific exercises are going to overload, stress, and activate these lower chest fibers to a significant degree. Let's dive into the training. The decline chest press was a staple in bodybuilding programs during the golden era, but isn't regularly performed today. Although the competitive sport has changed in so many ways, it's commonly agreed upon that bodybuilders from that time had a more aesthetic physique with very impressive chest development. Let's take a quick look at what 6-time Mr. Olympia Dorian Yates has to say about the decline chest press.
The misconception about this exercise is that it somehow just works the lower pec. It doesn't, works the whole pec, and it's probably the most effective pec exercise. Pecs bring your upper arm down and across your body. That's the function of the pecs. And a flat bench press will be positioned there. The decline will be positioned there. It takes a lot of stress off that pec tendon area that a lot of people get injured on bench press, and there's more pec involvement.
Let's take a look at how the decline bench press influences different regions of my pec when utilizing the electromyography sensors here in the lab. As you can see, when performing a decline chest press, the eccentric or negative phase moves the upper arm through shoulder abduction and puts those lower chest fibers under a deep stretch. As you perform the concentric or positive portion of the rep, you're moving through shoulder adduction, and those lower pec fibers are responsible for a large percentage of that work. Everyone's bench press form is a little bit different, but generally speaking, we can say that the decline chest press trains shoulder adduction and the flat bench press trains horizontal shoulder adduction. These different angles stress different regions of the chest to a different degree. Another compound exercise that challenges the PEC Major in a similar manner as the decline chest press are chest dips. Dips can vary quite a bit based on your setup, and this can drastically change how much of the front delts and triceps are involved compared to the lower fibers of the chest. For example, if I take a narrow grip, my shoulder joint is primarily going to move through shoulder flexion and extension. This will really hit my anterior delts. However, when performing and utilizing a wider setup and intentionally letting my elbows flare out, it can be a great exercise to train shoulder adduction and really stress the lower pec fibers. Individual EMG data shared by Dr. Brett Contreras supports the use of chest dips, as it's demonstrated that dips maximize lower pec activation compared to any other exercise. The final exercise I want to cover today is an isolation exercise that takes the shoulders and triceps out of the movement. The high to low cable fly was very popular in the golden era. However, it doesn't get as much attention in today's bodybuilding space. As you can see with the EMG technology, this fly variation does a great job at activating the costal fibers of your chest. Now, although the shape of your chest is going to be heavily influenced by your genetic structure, performing these exercises within your program can improve the sweep and overall aesthetics of your chest by adding more thickness to the lateral and distal fibers. To use myself as an example, I have pretty narrow clavicles and lack shoulder width from a structural standpoint. Although we have no control over our bone structure, we can control our exercise selection and do our best to maximize our potential. So for someone like myself, doing decline press variations, dips, and high to low flies may be even more important to improve the distal and lateral areas of my chest. Now, when it comes to how I recommend you implement this into your training program, there are many ways to go about it. At the bare minimum, make sure one of the 3 exercises mentioned today are performed in your current plan. This would ensure at least one exercise is training shoulder adduction and stressing those lower chest fibers to a significant degree. I personally would not perform more than one of these exercises in one chest training session. That would likely be a bit of overkill. However, if you're currently training chest twice per week, I highly recommend you implement one of the compound exercises, either dips or decline presses, in one session, and the high to low fly in your other session. To get a better idea on how I've personally organized exercise selection within a chest workout, you can download a free chest and back workout from one of my training programs. I'll put the link right here so you can check it out. In next week's video, I'm going to discuss how you can improve the development of your upper chest and really maximize activation of your clavicular head. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and drop a comment below. And if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you next week to continue this discussion on chest training.